Good afternoon and welcome to the 62nd Alabama Teachers Credit Union Annual Membership Meeting. This is a special one, being our first virtual meeting. We definitely miss seeing each of you in person. Before we begin the meeting, let's go over some important items to assist you. All annual membership meeting attendees have joined the meeting in listen and view only mode. While you can see and hear the annual membership meeting, your microphone and camera have been disabled within the Zoom virtual meeting space. Members will have the opportunity to participate in voting through Zoom's polling feature. Polls will appear on your screen if logged on via the Zoom app or browser. At the time for voting, directions will be given to cast your vote. Also, annual membership meeting documents, including the 2020 annual report and minutes, can be located on the Alabama Teachers Credit Union website. A recording of today's meeting will be posted to our website as well. Now, I would like to turn the meeting over to Chairman Tony Reddick for a call to order.
Good afternoon. Let me welcome each of you to Alabama Teachers Credit Union's first virtual annual membership meeting. I hate to begin on a sad note, but I would like to comment on the recent passing of a very special friend to many, Ronnie McClure. He was a local CPA, Supervisory Committee member, and a wonderful family man of fine character. Ronnie passed away just a few weeks ago, but his legacy will live for many years. Ronnie was a valuable member of our Supervisory Committee who truly respected this credit union and the values we stand for. Ronnie will be dearly missed, and we ask you to please keep his wife, Rita, son, Alan, and their entire family in your thoughts and prayers. On a much lighter note, before we conduct our official business, I did want to take just a moment to recognize one special lady, Mrs. Jean Watson. She is participating in today's meeting. She worked for many years as the former custodian of funds for the Attala City Board of Education. She has been a part of Alabama Teachers for many years as well. In fact, that number totals 30 years of dedicated service as both a Supervisory Committee member as well as a board member. Last year, Jean decided she had fulfilled her duty to the credit union and noted with pleasure it was time for her to resign as an active board member. Jean, I'd like to say from me personally, on behalf of our board of directors, and I think I can safely also say on behalf of the membership of this credit union, we thank you for your exceptional service and long-term commitment to Alabama teachers. I often reference famous Lebanese writer Khalil Gibran, and I think about sharing with you the loss of Mr. Ronnie McClure, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that since our last meeting, our dear Jean also lost her husband, Max. And with that, I couldn't help but think about the pain and grief that they perhaps have gone through, coupled with what we've had to deal with this pandemic virus. So I sought Khalil Gibran's notes on pain. And I want to share this with you. It says, and a woman spoke saying, tell us of pain. And he said, your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. And you would accept the seasons of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons of that pass over your fields. And you would watch with serenity through winters of your grief. Let us pray. Father God, accept our thanks for this day and all its blessings. We ask that you guide and direct us through our leadership and our actions. Grant that each of us may fulfill our responsibilities to the Alabama Teachers Credit Union, to our communities, and to our country. Bless our fellowship today and keep us mindful of our purpose. We gather today to confirm our sound decisions and continue our good work. Help us also continue to be fair representatives of those who have entrusted us with this task. Give us the insight, understanding, and wisdom we need to compete our mission each day, to compete in our mission, to complete our mission each day. along with the respect and impartiality to consider the pros and cons of everything before us. Help us remain strong and honest to always do what's best for our community and to perform our work to the best of our abilities. Amen. Well, let me officially welcome you to Alabama Teachers Credit Union's 62nd annual membership meeting. Again, our credit union's first virtual membership meeting. For those of you participating, thank you for your efforts to log in today and for your continued support of the credit union. To validate, we have an official quorum. I'll call on Mac Sawyer, our board secretary. Mac, do we have a quorum?
Yes, the membership of all participants on the call has been validated. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Great. Due to the virtual meeting format, there is a change to the order of business. We'll need a vote of approval for the revised order of business, and to do that, we'll be using the polling feature through Zoom to vote. I would entertain a motion and a second to revise the order of business as presented on screen. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2021 order of business. All in favor, vote yes on the polling feature displayed on your screen. Any opposed, vote no. We'll give you about 30 seconds to do that. Okay, the 2021 order of business has been approved. The 2020 annual membership meeting minutes were posted on our website and then they are displayed on the screen. Hopefully you've had time to review them when you registered for today's meeting. I would entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the 2020 minutes and approve them as they are presented. We need a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the 2020 annual membership meeting minutes. All in favor, vote yes on the polling feature displayed on your screen. Any opposed, vote no. We'll give you 30 seconds to do that. Okay, thank you. The 2020 annual membership meeting minutes have been approved. At this time, the pre-recorded reports referenced on the agenda will be presented. After the presentation, we will reconvene live to complete the remaining agenda items. Due to COVID-19, last year we were unable to have our inaugural community-wide event on fighting fraud and elder abuse that I spoke about during last year's meeting. I want to assure you though, as soon as we all can begin to see relief from this pandemic, our group wants to begin making plans again for a fraud and elder abuse prevention meeting. As you know, in many ways, 2020 was an extremely challenging year for all of us. I want to start out by thanking the entire ATCU staff for their continuous extra efforts. As many of you know, we had to temporarily close our lobbies a few times last year, and I apologize for that inconvenience. But just like most every family and business, COVID-19 adversely affected our employees as well. I want to assure you, however, of our intention to keep lobbies open as much as possible in spite of sickness, economic challenges, and other challenges throughout the year. 2020 still offered a good bit of growth and financial stability for you, our members. We experienced continued growth in our membership during 2020, as we close the year at almost 28,200 members. In spite of COVID, that growth was above average compared to previous years. And Ron Summerall will give an update on our solid financial position in his report. I want to briefly update you on the National Auction Group building and property located adjacent to our main office that I've reported on the past few years. After exhausting all reasonable options, your board and management have made the decision to tear down this building. Some of you may remember it as the old Coca-Cola building. Before purchasing it some 5 years ago, we determined the value of the property, even if the property ended up being land only, was worth the price we paid for it. We still believe this was a good long-term investment. As Alabama Teachers continues to grow, there could be a need for expansion and potentially another building. And of course, we can always market this property for sale if the need ever arises. Each of our branches experienced good growth and productivity in 2020, further establishing themselves in the community they serve. The success of our branches and the credit union overall, I think, is a testament to not only being a reputable financial institution with competitive products, but a reflection of the dedicated staff I referenced earlier, many of whom have been committed to advancing the positive reputation of Alabama Teachers for years. I won't take the time today to highlight the individual efforts as I usually do, but even in light of COVID, and maybe in some different ways last year, your credit union continued its ongoing involvement in supporting financially and in many other ways the various communities we serve. We also continue to reward students with our Honor Roll Rewards program. And shortly I will recognize the recipients of last year's scholarships, which totals $24,000 annually. I'm also proud to announce during 2020 a joint partnership was formed between Alabama Teachers and Family Savings Credit Unions to establish a local credit union foundation called Credit Union Partners Helping Hands. And as members, you'll be receiving information on this in the next few weeks. Obviously, this represents a significant amount of money we give back to deserving members and the communities we serve. I want to assure you, every dollar is scrutinized and each request goes through a very thorough process. Because of the support we receive from our local communities, giving back to those who are less fortunate is something we just feel we need to do. Integrity, good service, a commitment to our communities, and especially these days, a financially sound organization has been and continues to be the foundation that will guide Alabama Teachers into the future. Last year, our board of directors conducted all regularly scheduled monthly meetings, although nearly all of these meetings were conducted virtually, much like today. The intent of these meetings is to be accurate in determining our strategic direction and to sustain the financial stability of the credit union. Also to remain compliant with ever-changing regulations. And finally, to focus on further establishing financial relationships with our members. As your chairman, I'm confident Alabama Teachers is aware of and positioned to face opportunities as well as any challenges, and at the same time, take advantage of these opportunities. I will now turn the meeting over to Ron Summerall to present the President's report.
Good afternoon, and again, thank you for taking time to participate in today's meeting under these most unusual circumstances. Just a quick comment before I review our 2020 financials. Mr. Reddick referenced just a minute ago our continued outreach efforts to support the various communities which we serve. We fully understand we would not be the organization that we are today without the support of you, our individual members, as well as ongoing support from many local businesses. Our credit union, as well as our staff, have reached out and made special efforts to work with and to assist many individuals, as well as support many of those businesses that have been affected by this extended pandemic. As I recap our 2020 financial report available for review on our website, atcu.com, I want to assure you that Alabama Teachers remains a very sound and financially solid credit union. First, let's review our income statement. Total operating income for 2020 was $17,747,000, which was actually a decrease of $142,000 from 2019. Dividends or interest expense that we paid you, our membership, was just over $3 million, and that represents an increase of $217,000 from the prior year. Total operating expense was $11,934,000, which was a decrease of $69,000 from 2019. Our net income for the year ended at $2,502,000, which was a $623,000 decrease from 2019. Your management monitored this throughout the year, and we feel this is largely attributable to a decrease in consumer spending associated with COVID. Now, as we look at our balance sheet, let me point out just a couple of areas of interest. Total assets, which represents the size of the organization, closed last year at almost $416 million, which was a $72 million increase from the prior year. Total deposits ended 2020 at $366 million, representing an increase of more than $68 million. And finally, our equity, which is sometimes referred to as our financial footings, ended the year at just over $46 million, which represents an increase of $3.3 million. In closing, let me just say, and I think you will agree, the year 2020 was a challenging year for most of us, and even a worse year for many more. We at Alabama Teachers even faced unprecedented challenges with sickness among our own co-workers and family members. For months, we have been and we continue to take all type preventative measures to protect not only our staff, but you, our members, as well. However, as many of you know, on occasion, we, like many businesses, had to temporarily close our lobbies, which created longer lines and delays in our drive-thrus. I want to thank you for understanding and for your patience during those temporary arrangements. And we're all hoping 2021 can be a year of progress in many areas and a year of safety and good health for each of you. A final thank you to our Board of Directors and Supervisory Committee for their ongoing guidance, and a very special thank you to our dedicated staff. Now, Dr. Tommy Mosley will give our Supervisory Committee report.
Your Supervisory Committee, also known as the Audit Committee, is responsible for examining the adequacy and effectiveness of internal controls for your credit union. Also, this committee is responsible for ensuring all required audits are conducted in a timely manner with acceptable findings. As part of this process, some of you may have or will from time to time receive written requests for verification of selected transactions you recently completed at the credit union. This is done only as an act of verification to validate our internal controls. For anyone who may have received a verification request, you can rest assured that any responses to the inquiries will remain strictly confidential. Last year, regulatory examinations, which will be through September 2020, actually began January 4th of this year. The 2020 exam was conducted as part of a joint exam with both the Alabama Credit Union Administration and the National Credit Union Administration. As we report each year, the normal ACUA examination is performed annually. However, the NCUA had not been examined at the credit union in the past 4 years, so the 2020 examination was a much more comprehensive exam than in the past few years. I'm pleased to share with you today that the report was an overall clean report with no areas of material weaknesses. Throughout 2020, your credit union engaged several reputable firms, associations, and consultants to meet the various audit requirements related to safety and soundness, security, privacy, oversight of electronic transmissions, and other regulatory compliance. In addition, on behalf of the Supervisory Committee, our own internal audit department worked diligently throughout the year to ensure the same compliance, and they continuously evaluate the adequacy and effectiveness of our internal controls. Again, let me reiterate, the recently completed joint exam offered very good results. In addition to interaction with these outside agencies and credit union staff in general, your credit union supervisory committee was involved in regular discussions with credit union management and was actively involved in the monthly board of directors meetings. The supervisory committee, board of directors, and credit union staff look forward to another excellent year in 2021 serving you, our members. I'd also like to thank the other members of the committee, Ms. Joan Lee, as well as Mr. Ronnie McClure for their efforts throughout the year. In closing, you've already heard this name mentioned and referenced several times today, but allow me to close my report with a comment or two about Ronnie McClure and his recent death. I too would like to say what a fine man Ronnie was, both personally and professionally. I know he loved his family and his career dearly, but also he loved his work with Alabama teachers as well. He played an important role on our supervisory committee, primarily from an internal control and other audit standpoint. But he loved the principles this organization stands for and has built its reputation on. Ronnie was also a man of deep, devout faith, and he'll be truly missed. I now turn the meeting over to Mr. Sonny Kirby to present the nominating committee report.
For the 2021 membership meeting, there are 2 vacancies on the Alabama Teachers Board of Directors. These positions are currently filled by Ms. Emily Mills and Mr. Tony Reddick. Additionally, there is 1 vacancy on the Supervisory Committee. This vacancy was created by the recent untimely death of Ronnie McClure, which has been referenced throughout today's meeting. In accordance with credit union bylaws, the Board of Directors appointed a nominating committee, which has recommended both Emily Mills and Tony Reddick serve an additional 3-year term on the Board of Directors. The nominating committee had also recommended Ronnie McClure to serve an additional 3-year term on the Supervisory Committee. However, due to his death, again pursuant to the credit union bylaws, the Supervisory Committee will now name a replacement for Ronnie's vacant seat to serve on the Supervisory Committee. Since there were no nominations received from the official call for nominations, which was included in the fall 2020 savings statements that were also sent electronically, and since the nominating committee recommends each of these individuals, on behalf of the Board of Directors, we accept and approve the nominating committee recommendation for Emily Mills and Tony Reddick for the Board of Directors by acclamation. And your Supervisory Committee will work aggressively towards filling this committee's vacant seat. Now, on behalf of the existing Board of Directors and the Supervisory Committee, we look forward to working with each of you. I would like to thank the other members of the nominating committee, Dr. Tony Catanzaro and Mr. Chuck Roden, for their assistance with this process. Now I will turn the meeting back over to Mr. Reddick.
Okay, at this time, for any old and new business, we'll ask you to use the question answer feature located at the bottom of your screen. Utilize this feature only if you need to bring any old or new business to our attention. Do we have any old or new business? We'll pause for a few seconds to allow your submission. Okay, there being none, we would like to recognize our 2020 scholarship recipients. Alabama Teachers is proud to award 8 academic scholarships to very deserving individuals. This year, we are presenting 4 $3,000 scholarships to high school seniors, 3 $3,000 scholarships to college undergraduates, and a single memorial scholarship in memory of longtime credit union employee Lita Henson Johnson. Scholarships are based on certain criteria and requirements, the specifics of which are listed on our website. Today, we're proud to recognize our 2020 scholarship winners. First, we have our Synced Senior recipients. Taryn Darden attended Sardis High School and now attends Jacksonville State University. Walton Green attended Cherokee County High School and now attends North Carolina State University. Abby Morrison attended Hoax Bluff High School and now attends Jacksonville State University. Aubrey Williams attended Cherokee County High School and now attends Gadsden State Community College. Next, we have our 2020 Collegiate Scholarship recipients. Cadence Glenn attended Gaston High School and now attends Jacksonville State University. Lauren Haygood attended Aniana High School and now attends Jacksonville State University. Mackenzie Wilkes attended Crossville High School and now attends Jacksonville State University. And lastly, our Memorial Scholarship recipient, Miranda Nassif, attended Etowah High School and now attends Jefferson State Community College. We would like to congratulate each recipient and wish them the best in broadening their education. And for all the 2021 high school seniors and college undergraduates, the deadline to apply for our 2021 scholarship is April 9th. The application process is completely electronic and can be located on our website at atcu.com. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize one more individual, Ms. Jamie McLaughlin. After 25 years at Alabama Teachers, Jamie retired at the end of January as Assistant Vice President of our Business Services area. In part due to her efforts, we have seen Alabama Teachers achieve good growth and a very solid financial foundation. In large part, under Jamie's leadership, our Business Services area has developed a very solid reputation and a loyal following. Jamie, thank you for your commitment to the credit union, but more importantly, your commitment to the members that make up Alabama Teachers Credit Union. Of course, due to today's virtual format for the membership meeting and for obvious reasons, there will be no gifts or door prizes. I hope everyone can stay healthy and safe, and let's hope we can quickly get this pandemic under control. We look forward to seeing each of you at our regular in-person annual membership meeting in 2022. We stand adjourned.